Alright, ladies and gents, we're here. We're in the action. There's gonna be Nayr versus Snipert in this best of 5 action. Gonna be here with me is Blitzbot V2. Hello, sir. Welcome to the show. The commands, the invites are going out. Anyway, welcome back.
Hello.
Hello. I think you're good now.
Okay. How are you, Bird?
I'm doing quite well. I've just got done doing my first ever ESL cast for Guild Wars 2, and now I'm here doing some Hearthstone action. We're having a little issue. Okay, I think we're good. I think Snipert and Nayr are actually ready to go. So we're about to get in this match, but yeah, I've been checking out some of the action, did some, again, Guild Wars 2 action today, but how about you? How was your day? How are the many things going on in the sports world, Blitzbot?
Oh, it's pretty good. Today was a rather busy day in the sports world. You know, you have the LCS, then you had the Seed Story Cup, which the finals of it were today, and there's also the Kripparrian versus Artosis show match, and that was one hell of a choke match. So if you haven't seen those the Seed Story finals and the Kripparrian versus Artosis match, I recommend you watch the VODs for them.
Amazing bods, yes indeed. Hello as well, the hyena. And I have spectator mode enabled, but I can't see Snippers. Yeah, cool. I think we're all good. We have all the Gucci-ness right here. Although I think Snipper says we have some problems with his card. No, we're all good. So, Priest versus Demon Lock / Control Warlock. Where we're going with this? What do you think, Bloodspot?
Well, guess it depends. If the priest is able to establish their board early on, they'll be able to basically, like with the Northshire and, you know, powered shield on the Northshire, then they'll just be able to basically keep their minions out of range of the attack of the early Demon Lock minions. And from that point, they can just basically outvalue with the draw.
Yeah, definitely outvalue what to draw. We do hear some kind of distortion coming out from the mic, so sorry about that, guys. We get Snipper back into this, and then you're back into it as well, as we did have some connection issues. Not really a surprising thing to see, unfortunately. Spectator mode hasn't been working out quite well, but hey, a 1/7 Northshire Cleric, that's pretty cool to see, coming out from the double draw off of the Power Word Shields.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
Do you see Immortal Coil going to go down off of the Abusive Sergeant update? So, amazing thing that you get the card draw as well, get the pop off the egg, so we'll see what will happen from that. I guess you just clear and keep going, right? Is that the case to go, Blitzbot? As we're trying to figure out.
Yeah, because I'm worried about.
Yeah, go for it.
Hello?
Yep.
Is the sound okay?
I'm thinking
Okay.
that. Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah, if I was Nayr, I'd be worried about a possible villain's chosen that could be going on the Northshire Cleric. So I'd be trying to just get rid of that minion as soon as possible. You just because not only it gets rid of that huge health pool that the Northshire minion has, but also removes the card draw engine of the priest.
Yeah, card draw engine going to be going down. If there was a Velen's chosen, that'd be a pretty devastating board to go against. But hey, that's okay. We're here. We're gonna go probably Akanite up. Sorry, not Akanite up. Injured Blade Master up with a Circle of Healing possibly. That would probably be the best take. Or Holy Nova.
Yeah.
Is that?
I'd have attacked into the Nerubian first, just to add 1 extra damage.
Okay.
Onto the Nerubian. Because 4 attack is one of those benchmarks that is just really difficult for a priest to deal with. But we see here with the Shadow Madness onto the Void Caller that it's just a he's able to clear off the entire board of Nayr, which is a really huge tempo swing back in Snipert's direction.
Ooh, good Bane of Doom card coming up for Nayr. Bane of Doom. Okay. I just want to talk about this
Bane
for
of
like 2
Doom.
seconds. Where did it change? Why are people playing it now? What happened, Blitzbot?
Well, what happened was because before the Blackrock Mountain patch, Bane of Doom was essentially a card that lied. It didn't spawn a random demon. It spawned a demon from a predetermined list, and that list didn't include demons such as Void Caller or Doomguard or the legendary demons. So that made the card just really bad because you wouldn't really get that much value off of it. But now you can actually get the legendary minions, you know, Mal'Ganis or Jaraxxus or Illidan, and those are a huge tempo, like not even tempo, it's just huge board advantage in your favor because not only are you killing or finishing off an opponent's minion, but you're also getting a huge minion in on your board too.
A huge minion indeed, and I mean, yeah, okay. Well, he can't trade into one of the Moonbots anymore, but he's definitely gonna go make sure they're all dead. Kind of dangerous. Yeah, that happened, but it's okay. I mean, he got the job done, right? Rip. Wop that answer.
Injured?
I would have played the second Northshire if he wasn't, you know, just to have basically another target for the Boombot, so, you know, the Wild Pyromancer has a bit more chance of surviving. But then I would have healed myself back up instead of healing a minion.
Yeah. He would still been double Northshire, but even then, the board advantage was pretty high. Healbot could be used by Nayr to come back.
Actually, he could have still healed a minion, and he would have been at 9 cards. So I would have played the first or the second Northshire before the Circle of Healing.
Oh, Levy. He's gonna go in, play the Sludge Vulture, trade out the Northshire, and injure Blade Master. That's tough to see to over damage something, and it's slow.
I'd have just thought stolen that turn.
Yeah, it's slow coming out from Snipert. And for a deck that is going for the late game for Nayr / the Warlock, it's kind of dangerous playing in the way, especially with these like 2 big beefies, Lord Jaraxxus and Mal'Ganis being out. But the big thing is Nayr doesn't have the board advantage, so he can't really do much. Is he? Oh man, he's in a conundrum. What is he gonna do? You think he's gonna Dark Bomb nothing? Is he gonna?
Well, the thing is,
right?
Doomguard is the play, but it's very risky, and you know he lost his Mal'Ganis and the Dark Bomb because of the Doomguard's battle cry. I possibly would have just maybe passed the turn, even though it would be painful. But the next turn you'd have like Jaraxxus or something of that order. But we're gonna see the priest get a lot of value off the Shrink Master Shadow Madness Recombobulator combo.
Big value right there. Another 5/5 as well, and he's gonna be able to heal that out. You had an article on this on TempoStorm.com about something like a Recombobulator. So do you like this card? Do you think it's really, really worthwhile? And do you think it's only viable for priest / it was used in Warlock for a little bit, but definitely priest.
Yeah, it was used.
Sorry, Blitz.
It was used in Handlock at the beginning. Really?
No, you're good. Good.
Okay, good. Yeah, the problem with the Recombobulator and Handlock is that since you're deck is so controlly, you already have a ton of high value minions, like high values in their stats or death rattles. Like you don't have any minions that lose a lot of value due to their battle cry, other than Defender Vargas. And generally, most of the time, you're using the Recombobulator as a heal for your giant, so there really wasn't much use in Handlock for Recombobulator. But for example, a lot of people think that, you know, Recombobulator could find a use in Druids, since, you know, Ancient of Lore, even though it's a 7 mana card, it's only 5/5, so you could recombobulate it into, you know, a War Golem, or say
Dr. Balance.
you know, one of the legendaries like Trogs.
Yep. There's so many things in the 7.
A lot of the legendaries, like Doctor Doom and Neptulon, yeah, they're basically War Golems, and that outside of their battle cries, they don't really do much else. And if you recombobulate a 7-drop into them, it's essentially a War Golem.
Hey, War Golems are useful too. Never count out the War Golem double wisp combo against the Dr. Boom.
Or you know, or you can War Golem to bait out the BGH for your Dr. Boom.
A really interesting trade right there. Injured Blade Master. Why didn't he heal that before? I mean, is it really important to heal yourself too?
He might be playing around a potential mind control deck, but not that many players play mind control tech nowadays.
I mean, would still die to the Hellfire right there, but I don't. Yeah, that was very interesting play coming out from Snipert.
Yep.
But I think we're at the point where Snipert has just the void advantage. Wow.
Ooh,
Zigza
the
did not
implosion
lie.
board.
He's at 5 health left. He does have the A-Tick heal bot. He can go Drax as well, but yeah, I think this one might be over, friends.
Well played.
He actually
Let's see.
still living, right?
Well, with the Akonai and the Light of the Naru, so he trades all the Ensign or the Cabal. If the rest were to go to face, that would have been 3 more. Yeah, he would have had lethal with the Akonai, so he missed lethal with Akonai and Light of the Naru. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's regretting
But
that
then
now.
again, yeah. But then again, Nayr doesn't really have much to do at this point. I mean, he can Jiraxis, but that really, in effect, only leaves him up at 15 health and essentially passes the turn. And would that be lethal now? So 6, 12. Then he'd have lethal next turn with the Akonai and Light of the Naru.
I think it just kind of canceled out on the Spectre and Baird, so guessing Snipert won that? I'm pretty sure he did, right?
Yeah, he did.
Alright, cool. So they're back out of the lobby. I'll get back into it. Good game coming up for Snipert, winning that one up in the best of 3 series game. Or best of 5 series, sorry. Game number 1 going into him. Really quickly, Snipert played the priest deck really well in the sense that it kind of stalled out. It didn't really do much other than just have board presence. So if there was any way that the Warlock could have gained control, say a Shadow Flame earlier, something like that, it might have changed the game up a little bit just because of how Snipert wasn't really doing much in the beginning.
The light shall bring victory.
Starting hand scene right now is the Druid versus the Priest. Double Shadow Madness, Cabal Shadow Priest. Best hand NA, for sure, for sure. On the other hand, we do have the mulligan coming out from Nayr. He gets the Pilot Shredder on top of the Innervate, Wrath, and Keeper of the Grove. Pretty solid start. Could have a turn 1 Paladin Shredder if he really wanted to. Let's see here. Yeah, you.
Yeah, I'm just having problems with getting into the game
Spectator
from a
mode being
spectator
spectator
client.
mode, yeah. So Innervate plus the coin gonna hit up the Pilot Shredder. Not really surprised to see that. That's I met against that on ladder. It was quite annoying to do that against the I was running the kind of zoo control warlock that was made legendary pretty early on in the season, so I like where this Ringmaster is going. It's going straight right into the face of the Pilot Shredder, so amazing stuff. And let me know if you're back in, by the way.
Yeah, I'm back in, but I'm a bit behind you. Like, currently I see the, turn 2 for Nayr. And he's playing a, Wrath onto the Shrinkmeister.
We're
Is,
back.
that what you're on?
Yeah, so
Alright.
Playmaster just got the heal off. With the circle of healing, and now back into Nayr's turn. Shit, next round is going to be played for Nayr. Now it's going to be a straight in. Getting enough damage to go to combo lethal is amazing. But also getting a Scavenging Hyena is pretty amazing as well. Nayr going to be played out for Snipert. Gonna hold off and heal out all the way for the Blade Master. Gonna bring out some damage. Coming up into this little Light Warden that could. Until he can't, because he got Keeper the Growth. But hey, there you go. Waiting on the decision to attack with the Shade. Don't know about that. Bloodspot? You think that was a right move right there? I think we're having a little bit of technical issues with Bloodspot. Try rejoin. So, if you guys didn't know, Bloodspot, he bought into a new mic just recently, and God thank him for his services with the old mic. We needed a little bit of the upgrade. Unfortunately, it just I don't know. Is it back? Hello? We'll get it all together. Sorry guys, again we're still with the
Yeah, my mic keeps on muting itself.
Uh-oh. Yeah, the
But
game
it should be fine now. It should be fine now.
Yeah, it's getting there. Savage Verdict
Alright.
coming out for Snipert. Smart play?
So, yeah, you want to get rid of that, Druid of the Claw, because since it's at 4 attack, it's at that threshold where it's just super difficult for Priest to deal with, and its 6 health means you can't Holy Fire it down. So it's just one of those minions that are so difficult for a Priest to deal with. Now he has to deal with that ever-growing Shade. So unless he has some sort of, Shadow Word Death or Silence, but we're probably going to see the Thought Steal into trade.
Ooh. It's interesting seeing the Innervate come there, but I don't think it helps too much. Like I said, Thought Steal in trade, heal out himself, but it is, well, not yet dead, but pretty dead right now. Nayr does have combo on his hand as well. Dr. Boom gonna come out. Yeah, those boombox can get wasted too if you want to, but it's looking like Dr. GG is gonna go hold on and GG this match. Even if he was able to clear out the Dr. Boom, it probably wouldn't be enough for Snipert.
Must consider.
Yeah, he needs to draw the Shadow Word Death real soon.
One more damage closer to death. That's okay. I don't think you can do anything.
Yeah, with the combo coming out, it's just guaranteed lethal for Nayr. Yeah, Priest has a very hard time versus Druid just due to the fact that they run a lot of 4-attack minions with the Druid of the Claws, and Priests usually don't run that many taunts outside of Belchers, so they're very susceptible to the burst of the Druid combo, especially if they can't clear the Druid's board.
Yeah, and now there's Thurston on the board. Thurston, Jargon Jumbo Tarzan, if you want to even call it that. Got one taunt on the board. Now we're gonna get another taunt. Is this enough tauntage to be taunt-arenaed about? We do have a Wrath as well activatable. I'm pretty sure he can win, but he's not. He has to think about it. He has 3 damage with Wrath. There's many more targets per se, so maybe just holding off one more turn would be the way to go for Nayr. But I'm pretty sure he does have lethal.
He has lethal though. If he Force of Nature, if he combos,
Yeah,
the Emperor into the Druid of the Claw, you Wrath for 3 on the Sludge Belcher, you whack it with your face, and then one of the treants into the slime that spawns, and then you use the other 2 treants onto the face, and that should be lethal.
Well played.
Pretty sure he had 5 ways to lethal all around if need be, but yay! 2 treants into the face is gonna be well played. Coming out, training out, and tying up the series 1-1 on this best of 5 matchup. So just going over that match right quickly, we did have the Priest versus Warlock. Unfortunately, Warlock going down off on the Priest, so Snipert takes the first match, and then Snipert versus Snipert's Priest going against the Druid of Nayr. Nayr's Druid wins out. So they're going to see where Nayr's Druid is going to keep on going. We have the restart coming up. And it's going to be Paladin coming up from Snipert.
And generally, Druid is considered a very balanced class in terms of its matchups. Like, it doesn't really destroy certain classes, but it also doesn't really have many classes that it's weak to. But one of those weak matchups are the Paladin, just because of the card equality. And the muster for battle combo with the Quartermaster. If the Druid doesn't have the swipe, then things can get really out of hand really fast for the Druid player to deal with the Paladin's board.
Agreed. And the Paladin's board is going to be the important thing to try to take control of. Especially if the Paladin doesn't have a really strong early game. This is going to be tough. Knife Juggler, though, going to be put down onto the board, and I think that's going to be Insta Innervate. Yeah. Instant Innervate going into the Keeper of the Grove, so taking that down really easily. I mean, if he drew into the Muster for Battle, that's 3 extra damage. Ooh. When he drew into Muster for Battle, whoops. Sorry, friend.
Reporting for duty.
But yeah, so Paladin versus Druid, like you said, it's a 50-50-ish matchup, right?
Now I give the edge to the Paladin.
Okay. Because of the low
Like,
game.
it's not just the late game, it's just, the tokens are very difficult for the Druid to deal with. The weapons, unless the Druid runs Harrison, you can often use, you know, True Silver Champion to trade up, to make really favorable trades, and to also just remove, you know, Shredders, or the first half of Belchers, along with, say, the Silverhand Recruit.
Just to take care of the board really quickly. Yeah, I guess that's true with the hero power being more immense, especially with the addition of Quartermaster. I would say Paladin is favored, like you said. I still like the start coming out from the Druid though at the moment, just because there's been more pressure brought in, and also, wow, tempo swings, swing arena, gonna be onto the black guy. Nice little snipe off on that one, and now no one's receiving of the Chain and Axoramus. It's kind of dangerous, especially if there's a quality Consecrate right there.
Yeah, Quality Consecrate is very effective versus Druids. Just due to the fact that they like to run big stuff like Sonarius and, you know, Druid of the Claws.
enough RNG right there. But yeah, definitely the big health minions, especially for your taunt druid, which Nayr right now definitely not the taunt druid. He's more of a combo mid-range druid. Yeah, if you get down to 10 health, 1 health, and then just quick forward, it's just so devastating to the druid. Right over here, though, we see some major damage coming out onto Snipert.
Yeah, I didn't stealth the shade here too,
Yeah.
but looks like he didn't. We're probably gonna see the heal bot come down just to limit a bit of that
Reporting for
damage, and the Sylvanas probably trade into the Black Knight.
Ancient lore coming into play, and if you were Nayr, what would you do? Would you Druid Claw anything? Is he going for the board trade? That's interesting.
Well, I'd probably I didn't stealth the shade. You know, either attack face or trade into the Sylvanas, because if the Sylvanas steals the shade and it's still stealth, then it's really very difficult for you to deal with it. And here we go, 25% chance for Snipert to get that shade.
Dance game.
Oh, yeah, Nayr got the best result for Nayr and worst result for Snipert.
Dance game.
Tyrion is probably his only hope at this point to save him, because he has to be worried about Savage Roar or just Force of Nature at this point.
in the light.
At least he gets a clear off the 4-1, so that's amazing. But yeah, 7-7 coming up from there. Oof. If only Tyrion was 7 damage, it would be better. But it's okay. We do.
But then it would die to BGH.
Then
That'd be a nerf, man. It would be a nerf. Haven't you been paying attention to Twitch chat lately?
no, I mean the 6-7 Dr. Boom is such a it's such a big nerf, and that damage is so important. We do see the shapeshift going to come in, so he's going to use the Force of Nature tokens to clear out the Paladin hero. Not surprising to see the Forging going to go down, or Bulwark going to go down from that, unfortunately. And Tam damage is still going into the face, so amazing play coming out from Nayr. Would you have done the same thing, or would you use your shade to clear that one out?
I guess at this point, since BGH is probably going to come down on the shade, I would have just traded the shade and
Yeah.
kept the and possibly played the Ancient of Lore instead, and then also traded away the antique heal bot in order to pop the Divine Shield.
I think
Although it would leave.
Go for it, sorry.
I think it would leave the board or your shade pretty susceptible to consecration, but you kind of want to keep that Force of Nature in hand just to do the combo, especially since Snipert is at such a low health point that combo is almost assuredly a play that seals the game for you.
Now, in this instance, would you go for the consecration? I guess that's the only way to live, so that's unfortunate. Now, the follow-up play, is it going to be Thorson? I guess it is going to be Thorson as well, and hopefully he doesn't have another combo, but he doesn't. Mid-range decks, I really don't think run double combo. If they're running Thorson, they're definitely not running double Force in Nature, so.
Actually, in the Nihilum Druid, mid-range Druid, they do run double combo. And they do run Thorson too.
That's
Because Thorson makes the combos so cheap
right.
that oftentimes you'll be able to play the Force of Nature and the double Savage Roar turn 10. Or even more stuff. Like you can play the combo and say the Keeper of the Grove.
Well, for Snipert, his last chance just eroded. I mean, yeah, you can trade in the 5/5s, you can play the Dr. Boom, But it looks like Nayr's gonna take this one out pretty easily. Trade out, no problem. But hey, Azure Drake and swipe. Technically, swipe and hero power works out too, but I'd rather see him do the Azure Drake. Oh, actually, no. There's a chance. No, there isn't a chance, even with both Boombots doing 8 damage, it would not matter because he does have a little bit more damage than anything. 3-1, and that's GG for Snipert. Okay, so or GG for Nayr. Sorry, Nayr is up 2-1. I think we have a few more going. If not, that's fine. I don't mind calling it a day, but really exciting stuff coming out from Nayr with the Druid going 2 up already. What do you think Snippert's gonna do to finish this one out if they can, beating his last deck at being right now?
Well, Paladin is supposed to be the class you go to in order to beat Druid, but another deck that has been doing well in the meta, or has always done well versus Druid, but the meta wasn't really favorable to it, was Zoo. But with the release of Imp Boss from the second wing of Blackrock Mountain, Zoo has been making a comeback in both EU and NA ladder. And Zoo has always been like one of the classic counters to Druid because of the amount of pressure that they can put in, you know, with the eggs and power overwhelmings and the Doom Guards. It just overwhelms the Druid.
Not surprising to see Snipert now going to be going to the Oil Rug. Oil Rug is, I think, his best deck. So, good to see Snipert coming back in with that. Do you see Keeper of the Grove Innervate could be a thing that he could use? He could even use the Keeper of the Grove just to do damage.
Although I don't really like the choice of running Oil Rogue into Druid, since that is one of your most unfavorable matchups as an Oil Rogue. Like, it's very difficult for you to deal with an early boom. It's very difficult for you to deal with Druid of the Claws. You only have 2 saps. But saps only really help you versus Innervate plays, but versus, say, Wild Growth, it's very difficult for you to deal with big minions brought out by Wild Growth. And speaking of Innervate plays, we see the Innervate Dr. Boom coming down now. But unfortunately, there is no sap for Snipert.
Even then, a sap doesn't really help your situation. Gonna go Preparation, Eviscerate? Yeah, that's just unfortunate for the Wild Teacher. But hey, you bring out 3 little 1/1 minions, maybe they trade into the other 1/1 minions, and we call it a day, eh? Oh.
Yeah, I would have face tanked it at this point, since you have the Arseer in hand. And, you know, it's not that late in the game yet where you have to worry about combo. You know, the Druid hasn't really drawn a lot of cards. The Druid has only drawn 8 cards, so he probably doesn't have both combo pieces in his hand. So you can afford to tank the damage, which is what I would have done. Although it would have been a lot better if he had a Blade Flurry instead of the Eviscerate, because then he could have Deadly Poison, Prep, Tinker Sharpsword Oil, maybe trade the or attack phase, or no, trade the teacher into the Dr. Boom, then Blade Flurry. And that would have completely cleared the board, and it would have dealt 12 damage to the Druid.
Played it safe. Played it casual. No problem. Keeper of the Grove gonna be a thing. Gonna go Silence the 4/4. I think that would be the only thing.
You could
just do 2
do
damage.
2 damage, Wrath for 1, or Wrath for 3. Excuse me, I can't math. I thought he had 1 more mana to Hero Power 2.
He did not.
At this point, you, as the rogue player, you really want the Blade Flurry as soon as possible to deal with that growing shade. But he lays down Lothab as another body, I suppose.
And Black Knight's probably coming out, and Hero Power. Or just Hero Power
Yep.
Southmore. I don't think there is any real TPK target. Huh, interesting.
Yeah, I would have just... I mean, I know some oil rogue lists like to run Sludge Belchers, you know, just as a counter to the base hunters. But versus in the standard oil rogue list that everyone uses, they really don't run any top targets at all. So I would have just dropped the Black Knight right there as another body. But I guess he was afraid of the Lothab just trading into it for free, and then he'd have to hero power the Lothab down some other turn.
Well, it's kind of getting dangerous for Nayr because he's getting down low, 1722. We have double Tinker Substitute Oil, like you said, on board, or at least in the hand. It can be activated by a preparation as well, so very dangerous for Nayr to play that way. But A, he's gonna go just hold off. Will he trade into the Violet Teacher? He likes just holding in his Shade and Axoramus. Very scary, actually.
Yeah, if he has combo, I think if he draws the Savage Roar next turn, that'll be lethal with the Shade of Naxxramas.
No preparation coming out, so Snippert's gonna use the Fan of Knives.
I am ready to learn.
At this point, he's really looking for a Blade Flurry.
Yeah. Hit and miss another time. You're gonna see Edward drawn out. Now he's looking for preparation. Nope, he gets another draw card. Amazing draws coming from Snipert. But it's okay, he's still in the lead in damage, and yeah, combo could be a thing, and hopefully he doesn't have it. But Snipert, do you have a prayer? For now you do, and you have a lot of damage on board.
Yeah, I'd probably drop the Ancient of Lore just to kill, and it'll hurt, but I'd hero power down the Lothab.
I think it's lethal then, no? Ooh.
Well, if he has to
needs
get
some
rid of one of these minions.
So many.
Oh, there's that Blade Flurry. I think it should be lethal without the Blade Flurry. With the second tinctures.
Oh yeah, the Viscery, he also has spell power, so that's amazing that he
Yeah,
has
so.
damage.
Well played.
Is Snipper gonna win out off of
That's-
Trusty True?
There are lots of ways for the rogue player to have lethal that turn.
Amazing.
Just yep.
But yeah,
Just a matter of how flashy he wanted to be with his lethal.
Yeah, and it's gonna be another lethal to finish up this best of 5 series. Snipper gonna be in the Aura Priest coming out for Nayr. We saw this priest yesterday. Oh, this is gonna be damaging. A Mech Priest coming out for.
Oh yeah, the Mech Priest.
I wonder, off of the best of 5 or that the ending game series, spectator mode surprisingly works. I like this. Didn't have to go do anything about the cameras. Everything was good. Mech Priest has a really strong start, and we don't have a good start for Snipper against this aggression. So Nayr definitely having the advantage early on. And could he do some stuff? Yeah, he's gonna go for it. He's going for the gusto. Would you agree with this play right now?
I like saving the coin for if I have a Mech Warper in hand for turn 2, especially if I have another 2 mana cost minion, 2 mana cost mech, because then I'd be able to play the Mech Warper, play the Clockwork Gnome, and also coin out the 2 mana cost mech, whether that would be an Annoyatron, or in this case the Shadow Boxer.
So many options.
But in this case, Snipert wasn't really able to punish the coin Mech Warper.
Having the earning Fire here, not really surprising to see that. We're gonna Tinker Town Technician. Ooh, better target right there. Palette Shredder going down. Do you see the trade out coming up from the Spider tank and the damage coming in to Snipert? So we do have the Blade Flare
Probably
coming
gonna
up.
see it.
Good.
I wonder.
Deadly Poison, attacking to the Shredder, and then Blade Flurry. Yep. Basically, the only minion that would have survived from the Blade Flurry would have been Nat Pagel, Lower Water Cho, or Millhouse Mana Storm. But unfortunately for Nayr, he didn't get any one of those.
Got a Blood Sail Raider. The Raider did not raid very well, and he put the dust. He went downstate. Pilot Teacher gonna be coming out, and nothing else to really support that. So not surprised to see if he has Shrinkmeister when it wouldn't happen. But hey, we're gonna see the Ticket Cat Technician go down, and we're gonna heal out. No, Shadow Box are gonna come down too. That's playing a little dangerously.
Well, he's betting on Nayr is betting on Snipert to not have another source of AOE in his hand, but with the backstab drawn, that's gonna be really really good because he now can activate both of his SI7s. I would have probably backstabbed on one of the 4 health minions, like the Tinkertown Technician. Because
I think you forgot to play the Blood.
you could then
too, but keep on.
No, see, if you play the backstab on the Tinkertown Technician, you SI7 the Tinkertown Technician, and then you attack into the Shadow Boxer, which would be at 3 health, and then you could also use the second SI to or instead of the second SI, you could dagger up and finish off the 2-4 instead of killing off the Shadow Boxer. There were numerous plays, but I feel that backstabbing the Shadow Boxer was not the right move to do in that turn.
Let me change.
Unfortunately for Blood Wings Down, it's gonna go on the opposition, and we're gonna see them trade out yet again. 6 damage left on board for Snipert.
So many.
Can he draw anything else? He's gonna draw into the Azure Drake. Be able to draw up Phantom Knives. Ooh. What a game changer. Roleplay coming out for Snipert. Ooh. Cabal Shadow Priest coming off the side for Nayr there for the draw. Not bad to see. There isn't really a Cabal Shadow Priest target, and uh-oh. Are we in a little bit of trouble for Nayr?
Must consider.
Well, at this point, I'd probably drop down the Mech Warper just to activate the upgraded repair bot. Or I suppose he'd rather have the Shredder down. I'd rather have the upgraded repair bot because it'll turn the Mech Warper into a 2/7. You'd also have the 5/5 body of the upgraded repair bot, you know, just as a threat to the rogue.
Right there, punished. Right, exactly, like you were saying. Gets a little top minion, sure, whatever. And it's looking like Snipper's probably gonna win this one. Ooh, Holy Nova is gonna change that just a little bit. But still. I don't know if there's enough time for Priest to catch up on this.
Well, I'm having sort of technical difficulties with my spectator client. It's kind of registering the Azure Drakes as 0/0/0 Warlock spells.
Not a problem. As we do see the first figure structure all go down. As 11 damage going in the face, plus Thorson coming into play to reduce the cost of sap, because we needed to do that anyway. Keepo. And, ooh, dead draws into the hand of Nayr. GG, well played, coming out from both players, but GG, well played for Snipert. Yet again, coming back into this show match. And best of 5 is the way to go for him. Gonna be able to clear this one out, 3-2.
Yeah, with the with that turn 4 Blade Flurry, he was essentially able to clear off the entire board of the Nayr Mech Priest, and that just set Nayr so far behind in terms of damage and pressure, and Snipert were just able to lay down his threats and basically close out the game from that point.
Yep, close out the game for sure. And Snipert using his trusted tried and true. This is Oil Road getting him in there and for the win. So congratulations for that. Congratulations, Nayr, playing out the best of 5 as well. He did have a good one over yesterday, but unfortunately could not win it out today. So closing thoughts, Splitspot, spectator mode. It's good for you, right?
Spectre, I don't like having my Azure Drakes replaced as 0 mana, 0/0 Warlock spells, but on the other hand, it's a pretty cool looking visual effect. I know it's happened in several tournaments where they've had that same bug in Spectre mode. Like it would happen with Cenarius or other legendaries, but nobody really knows what causes this. But to recap the matches, with the first match was Demon Lock versus Priest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in that case, we kind of saw the reverse of what happened yesterday with the Demon Lock versus Priest, in which the Priest had a sort of insane start with the Northshire Cleric into double powered shield turn 2, and that 7 health is just so difficult for Demon Lock to deal with. Like, they'd have to silence the Cleric with an Iron Beak Owl, and then use a Dark Bomb or a Power Overwhelming on the Nerubian Egg in order to finish off the Northshire Cleric. But most decks, well, other than Priests, because they have Shadow Word Pain, would have a ton of difficulty dealing with that 1/7 Northshire Cleric. And from that point on, you know, Snipper was just able to draw cards to match, you know, the Warlock hero power, and it was just downhill from there. Second match was Priest versus Druid, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Druid with board. That was pretty much what the game was about, right?
Yes. Even though Snipert had a good start with the Blade Master into Circle of Healing turn 3, which that 4/7 injured Blade Master, well, he's not so injured anymore. It's just, again, that 7 health so early in the game is just so difficult for classes to deal with. And recently, like, a lot of Priests have been running Resurrect with Injured Blade Master, so they bait out some sort of removal for the 4/3 Injured Blade Master, such as a Wrath or a Dark Bomb or a Frostbolt. And then the turn afterwards, they'd use Resurrect, and then for 2 mana, they get the full 4/7 Injured Blade Master because his damage self ability is a battle cry. So when you resurrect him, he just stays as a 4/7, which is insane value for the resurrect. But that's just a tangent. It's just Circle of Healing with the Blade Master is just yeah, it's just really OP combo. But we saw just the trouble that Priest has in dealing with the Druid. Druid, since Priests don't run that many taunts, Druids can just hit face, put the Priest in combo range, and then combo for the win. As we saw what happened. Or did he use combo for the win? I think he just pressured with the minions for lethal.
Yeah, he had the board of
and then, you know,
he did use combo at the end,
yeah.
so it went out. Right.
Yeah, it's just, again, a lot of the Druid staple minions, such as Druid of the Claw, are really effective versus Priest because of their 4 attack. And when you have Wild Growth or Innervate plays, or, you know, the Priests, or plays where the Priests can't really make use of their Northshire Clerics or other early minions such as Dark Cultists, then the priest just starts falling really far behind, and they'll just collapse to the pressure that the druid puts out. Third game was Paladin versus Druid, versus Nayr's Druid. And even though Paladin's supposed to have a favorable matchup versus Druid, Snipert didn't really draw the cards that make it a favorable matchup. We didn't see an equality, we didn't see the muster for battle. And even though he had a Quartermaster in his hand, he really wasn't able to find the time to actually place it down. And again, just like the priest, he wasn't able to deal with the minions that the druid was able to put out, and the pressure. That Shade of Naxxramas eventually reached the point where it had to be BGH'd. And I suppose you can tell just from that point, the druid won. Also, what didn't really help was that Snipert absolutely, completely lost on the RNG in terms of the Sylvanas Death Rattle.
Yeah.
Like, if he got any other minion than the 1/1, he probably would have been better off. You know, with the
Yeah, I think he still would have
you
been
know, the
really
heal bot.
behind, but still he would have
Or the
been able to
shade.
catch up. Yeah.
Yeah, he would have been able to catch up a bit. But otherwise, it was just kind of rubbing the salt into the wound of getting the 1/1 slime. And then the last game, which was or the second to last game, was Rogue versus Druid.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Rogue has an unfavorable matchup due to priests, just because of the fact that priests run large minions such as Druid of the Claw, Belchers, Dr. Boom, and they can get them out early with the Innervates and Wild Growths. But he did have the Wild Growth that game, but his hand quality was very subpar. We didn't see the early Ancient of Lore. The Dr. Boom was dealt with rather in a rather clean fashion. Basically, any sort of move that Nayr was putting out with his Druid deck was essentially countered by the Snippert's Rogue play, and Snipert was just able to basically turn the tables on the Druid and apply the pressure to close out the game. And the last game, Mech Priest versus the Rogue.
Yep.
Versus the Oil Rogue. That game was essentially decided by the turn 4 Oil Blade Flurry. That just, all the board advantage, all the tempo advantage that Nayr had built up with his coin Mech Whopper play that wasn't punished, all of that was reduced to dust from the Deadly Poison onto the hero powered weapon, attacking into the Shredder drop not being a 4 HP minion, or the Shredder drop not being Millhouse Manastorm, I should say. And then the Blade Flurry to just clear out everything. And from that point on, it was essentially, since Mech Priest, I don't think, well, it's an archetype that isn't really seen much, but I don't think they run Northshires. So it's very difficult for Mech Priests to get card advantage if they don't have card draw. Yeah. So unlike say Mech Mage, where you can rely on Antonidas with their spare parts later in the game to sort of close out the game for you, you don't have access to Antonidas in Priest unless you mind control it or thought steal it. But we didn't see that happen, and I don't think Nayr's Mech Priest runs the thought steal or mind control. Although it's very interesting he incorporated Cabals. I'd probably have the run possibly piloted Sky Golems instead as a 6-drop. Because especially if you're an aggro deck, you don't really want to play Cabal, which is more for controlling the board. You don't want to play something big, some threat like the piloted Sky Golem, something that has to be dealt with and also has the Death Rattle, which leaves a 4 mana cost minion on the board, which basically which still lets you have board presence even if it's dealt with, and allows you to basically keep on piling that early game pressure into mid game dominance. But yeah, the Cabals ended up being deck cards. I would have rather seen near the very end. I would have rather seen the Mech Warper plus upgraded Pairbot instead of the Mech Warper and Paladin Shredder, because Mech Warper would have just died to the Earthen Ring Farseer for free, and that didn't really do much to sort of deal with the board. But the 2/7 Mech Warper with the 5/5 would have actually been a threat. Would have actually had to have been dealt with by Snipert. But Snipert had basically stabilized and was just able to close out the game. It was just that Blade Flurry play was just what won him the game. That's basically what that game boils down to.
Agreed, and unfortunately, maybe they overcommitted in the early game, but the bigger thing was, once everything got cleared, you just really couldn't do anything. It's one thing about Mech Mage, same thing about Mech Priest as well. Once you lose the momentum early, it's gonna go down. So, c'est la vie. It is another series gone today, and congrats again to Snipper winning out the best of 5 series over Nayr. Again, we'll see these Titans again, probably in the actual playoffs. They are pretty high in their league. So, again, playoffs coming up next week. Next week. Week 10 is our last week of league play. Then we have the playoffs coming up the week after. So, hopefully we'll see everybody here for that. Again, Bloodspot V2, it's always a pleasure casting with you. Where can we find you? And, you know, how do you get those moves that you do when you dance it out?
Well, you can find me on Twitch as that's Crankpot V2, and on Twitter as @Blitzbot V2. And how do I get these moves? Well, I've been playing TCGs for quite a while. I've been playing Magic since 8th edition, and I was in the beta for Hearthstone, but Hearthstone beta was a very different game from the Hearthstone that you see today. And, you know, I just didn't really like the way the meta was, and basically the cards, and it didn't really interest me, so I just left. And then it was BlizzCon 2014 with the first ever, you know, Hearthstone World Championships, and then with Naxxramas, and that is what really, well, it was basically Naxxramas that got me back into the game, and then the BlizzCon just sealed it. Yeah. I started to love the game once again. It was basically a reimagining, and I just played a ton of games, and I guess if you practice, you can be an analyst too.
You can card sling, you can card stone, it's all the way the same way. But again, check out this guy, Bloodspot V2. He does do articles for TempoStorm.com. Become legendary. And yeah, it's amazing to see Bloodspot grow so much. And hopefully the mic issues, we'll get back to that later on again. But hopefully we can fix all that. Thanks again for coming by, and hopefully we'll see you next week. And again, we will see everyone here again in just a little bit. But hey, it's done for week 9. We'll be moving on to week 10 in just a few, literally just a few. Again, if you want to sign up for the show matches, come up on the Facebook group, HSL Facebook group, and make sure to request a time, Saturday or Sunday, 4:15 p.m. PDT is the first one, 4:30 PDT is the first one, and 5:15 PDT is the second slot. We'll do one more show match week, and then we're going to go right in the playoffs. Again, we'll have some special guests, so don't you fret. We won't only have Bloodspot V2. We might bring back It's Bolt, might bring back some other special guests as well. But again, from me to you from me, and to everyone else here in the HSL staff to see, has been L3IRD. We're closing out. Do come out to the shop, do come out to everything else, but again, congratulations to Snipert being a champ for the show match.